24 London is a venue in the heart of the West End of London.
24 was one of our first clients and remains a client with us today. We like to work with 24 and work with them in a way we like to work with most of our clients in a very close relationship, both with the club but also with the club's other partners, their designers, their lighting designers, and everyone that's involved with how the club looks. 24 is also interesting because it was one of the first clubs that used the interactive surfaces in a dual purpose way. So they used it during the evening to create a fun ambient experience for the people who were clubbing, and then used it during the day in a very different way for people who would have events, press launches, product launches, and use the technology in a very functional way to gain the maximum value from it.
Due to the technology that we have here at the venue, 24 London really is an event planner's dream, because you don't have to think about the expense that comes with branding, with making banners, backdrops, signage, gobos. You don't have any of that here because all your branding can be done via the projection screens, via the iBar, via the interactive tabletops, and you can change that branding at a flick of a switch. We have really changed the dynamics of the typical bar or nightclub experience through the use of the multi-touch interactive surfaces, because now there is a focal point in the venue. There is a reason for people to interact with each other. It's a reason to flirt with people. It's a reason to talk with people that you might otherwise not have approached before. It's an icebreaker, and it's also a source of fun. It makes people not take themselves too seriously, I suppose. Looking to the future, we are planning on using the iBar as a means to promote some of our drinks brands in a much more cutting-edge way than before. So, for instance, we'll have the opportunity to push brands that perhaps have a higher margin than others, encourage the customer to do more impulse buying, and that eventually obviously affects our bottom line. We are very much looking to grow the business internationally. Hopefully in a couple of years' time there are going to be 2 or 3 more 24s somewhere else in the world. But that is something that we would very much do hand in hand with Mindstorm. 24 really is not the same venue without Mindstorm's involvement. And we're extremely excited to see what other concepts Mindstorm are going to come up with in order to fully develop the interactive technology that we have here. Another thing we're looking at doing is putting our menus onto the iBars so that customers can order directly from the touch surface. They can even perhaps customize their drink from the tables without ever having to speak to a barman. Overall, having Mindstormed the business, we have found it a lot easier to procure sponsorship than the other venues, as we have exciting surfaces through which they can advertise. Customer loyalty is a lot stronger for us than it is in other venues because our ambience and atmosphere is so different, and we're able to constantly refresh that, again just by changing a switch. And finally, it has generated a lot of buzz for our venue. People are talking about us on social networking sites, sharing their photographs, sharing videos, sharing their experiences, because this venue is very different from the others.